Andrew Whitmire joining us now with weather. Andrew, March definitely coming in like a lion, but what's causing this very active weather pattern that's bringing everything from blizzards and heavy snows across the country to high winds and extreme heat to the south?
And tying the real reason that we have been dealing with lots of wind and a lot of these subtle systems moving through the heartland, deep south, Midwest, Great Lakes states and the East Coast is really all thanks to the battle of the seasons that we are in right now. We're really trying to fight spring while winter is still trying to hold on to its last grip here, and much of the country again really hasn't had much of a taste of winter outside of the far northern states and parts of the Pacific Northwest. As we go throughout the jet stream for this upcoming week, we're going to be watching kind of a zonal flow taking shape earlier on in the week, and that's going to lead to kind of quieter weather across much of the lower 48, maybe a subtle ridge building on in early on into this week as well. And then we'll be watching this deep trough out west. That'll begin to work its way across the country, and that will allow colder air to intrude much of the area that has been looking at the early spring-like temperatures throughout much of February and throughout at least the first few days of March. This will send with it a colder pattern here as we head on into the mid-month time frame. Here's a look at temperature trends for this week here. This blue below average temperatures and these darker blues up along the intermountain ranges. Again, we've got some colder air that's going to begin to funnel on in, and here's a look at the temperature outlook for mid-March. Notice how we get lots of blues, much of the lower 48 here included in this cold outbreak that we'll likely have throughout mid-March. But remember, we're not in the dead heart of winter anymore. But again, we are still going to be watching pockets of below average temperatures here as we head throughout this mid-spring month. Here's a look at precipitation for this week. Again, we'll be watching a few more subtle systems working their way out west, intermountain west, and across the plain states. Meanwhile, looking at some below average or at least precipitation goes with more of that zonal pattern up across the Great Lakes and portions of the north and east. Take a look at the drought monitor as we go on into this. Again, we're still looking at needing lots and lots of moisture here before the growing season really gets going across the central plains, Nebraska, Kansas, as well as even Oklahoma, really needing lots of moisture here. Hopefully we can squeeze that out here throughout the next coming days and next coming weeks, and also watching some dry conditions out across eastern Michigan as well. Let's take a look at the root zone here. We've been seeing a lot of water inundated across the Mississippi, Tennessee, and Ohio River valleys, and we'll see that trend continuing here as we go throughout the precipitation forecast over the next 10 days, where we're going to be watching again parts of the southern Mississippi there for pockets of heavy rain of 2 to 4 inches.
Well, after prices of grains and oil seeds that seemed to be in a free fall in February, what changed to start March? Brian Grady and Sam Hudson join us to talk markets next.
U.S. Farm Report is sponsored by Germinator Closing Wheels. Germinator steel closing wheels, perfected in conventional, excels in no-till. Order 12 to 16 rows today and qualify for free shipping or 20% off an end zone moisture management package.